the Santa Rosa Correctional Institution, located on Florida's Panhandle.
Hold down, man. Suitcase this, my cell phone, and my charger don't walk with a limp. Get it knocked off or missing, you gon' get it. Next time I see you ass, you gon' leave airlifted. Welcome back to another episode of K for All TV. Y'all hit that like and subscribe button, and make sure you hit that notification bell so you can see it first. Okay, today I'm gonna touch bases and speak on a topic. I want to speak on control management, which is also known as CM. Okay, now in the state of Florida, you know, we have a couple different institutions that are CM, but the reason that I want to speak on it is because Charlotte CI, where I was actually at and did a lot of my time and had a lot of K for All TV footage, is now CM again. See, it was set up like a CM camp when I got there because it used to be CM. Now it is no longer a general population compound. They have only one dorm that is open, you know, and those are the people that work in the kitchen. Everything else is CM, which I'm going to break it down to y'all a little bit about what CM is. Okay, now CM is basically confinement, which it is confinement, but you're housed there longer than normally. All right, now when you get DRs, you know, that's how you go to CM. The worst thing that can ever happen to you, other than dying, is get sent to prison. That's the worst thing they could do to you, is send you to prison. The worst thing that can happen to you in prison is you go to CM. Okay? CM is like, there's 3 of them, 1, 2, and 3. And they have CM1, which is the highest, CM2, CM3. All right? Now, when you catch a DR, you know you go to DR court and everything like that. And when you go to your DR court in front of the ICT team and in front of your classification officer, they're going to basically tell you if you qualify for CM or not. You know, you can get sent there for excessive DRs, get caught cutting someone, all different things you can get sent there for. Now, normally, if it isn't that serious of a thing, they'll start you off on CM3. CM3 is the least amount of time that you're going to do compared to CM1. It's all between 3 to 10 years. Some people be there even longer than that. But it's kind of like as a juvenile, when you go to juvenile programs, you know, the 10 is worse than the level 8. The level 8 is worse than the level 6. It's kind of like that, you know. So picture a 3 to 10 year sentence you will get on CM. All right. And then CM1, you don't have a bunkie. You know what I'm saying? So they're not going to let you have a bunkie. Then after you've been there for a while, you'll go in front of the hearing, and then they'll see if you're ready to drop down to CM2. Then if you're ready to drop down to CM3, and then eventually you'll get out and you'll get to go to, you know, back to another compound or whatever it is. You see what I'm saying? Now, I'm going to show a little clip of how it is when you get sentenced at a DR, even when you're not on CM. That gentleman was on CM already, and he was, you know, getting sentenced for DRs while back there and getting sentenced for things while back there, to where they wanted to put him on CM1, which is the highest one they could put you on. Now, no matter what camp you're at, when you catch a DR, it doesn't matter if it's a walking DR, which means you don't go to confinement. They just give you the written paper, and then you have to show up to DR court. Or if you actually go to confinement and you're sitting in AC confinement, which is administrative confinement, until you are found guilty for your DR. Now, you're going to go through the same hearing that they go through there on CM. It's the same thing no matter what camp you are. You go to DR court, it's the same rundown. Every camp I've been to, it's been the same rundown. All right, now, I remember when I went to court one time, and I was sitting there, you know, they had us all sitting in a confinement quad. Everyone's like, you know, everyone's on the doors and everything like that. You know, you're sitting there. Everyone from every quad in confinement gets brought to one quad in handcuffs and waits to be called in there, like that gentleman just did. And then they sentence you. Now, me particularly, my last DR at Charlotte CI, I remember sitting in confinement. Everybody's on the doors, you know, everyone sees me sitting there and everything, this and that, this and that. And it's real early in the morning that they do DR court, but they do it frequently every single week. You know, it's every week, so everyone knows it's the process. It's the process to keep people in and out of confinement, in and out, in and out. So I'm sitting there, everyone's on the door, I'm waiting to be sentenced for the exact same DR that I got shipped from Charlotte from after I came to confinement for K-Frog TV. I sat back there 100-something days serving a sentence, and then they shipped me. Because when you get shipped for a DR, it isn't mandatory that what camp you land at, that they make you finish your sentence. So if you get 200 days in the box and they ship you within 15 of them, yeah, when you go to your reception centers, 9 times out of 10, you are going to stay in the box as you travel through reception. But once you hit your permanent camp that you are now going to, it's all on them if they keep you in confinement or if they put you on the pound right away. So Charlotte kept me there in the box after they already sentenced me. They kept me there past 100 days so that way I would serve out majority of my sentence just in case I went somewhere and they didn't want me to serve the bid and they wanted to put me on the compound. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sitting there in the quad like this. It's DR court time. I'm waiting to be called and everything like that. Now, my name, anytime someone sees me, first thing they start screaming is K-Frog TV, K-Frog TV. So, you know, at the same time, I was trying to be quiet. I didn't want to wake everybody up, let everybody know I was in their quad, you know, about to go to DR court because I'm about to get sentenced. So, they called the first couple people. You know, they called them, they did what they did to them, and then next thing you know, it's my turn. So when it's my turn, boom, they say, Harris. I get up, boom, they walk me over there, they open the door, I walk in there, I have to go inside the room with these people sitting at the desk, and then they have a sarge, which is like an officer, might be a captain, depends. They have your classification officer, they have some people from classification, they have them all in there getting ready to, you know, sentence you on your DR, find out if you're guilty or not guilty. So as soon as I go in there, as soon as my classification officer, you know, like, you know, they go to talking and everything, they're reading me my DR that I got or whatever for the 11-inch knife and for a cell phone. The whole quad starts screaming and banging on their doors. K-Frog TV, K-Frog, be with that, K-Frog TV, this and that, this and that. They all start banging and screaming and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, damn. So I'm sitting there like this. And then my classification officer was like, you think I don't hear them out there screaming and banging your name? You think I don't hear them out there screaming your name? And I'm just like, he's like, man, I'm tired of hearing your name. Every day I hear your name. He's like, I'm tired of hearing it. He says, so now, you're going to be transferred to a big boy camp. That's what he said. So then in my mind, I'm like, big boy camp. This is Charlotte. You know what I'm saying? And I landed at Petty DeSoto. DeSoto's where I landed, where it was like a breeze through the air. It felt like work release while I was there. Now, DeSoto used to get off back in the days, but while I was there, it wasn't like that. So, especially wasn't compared to Charlotte. So in my mind, I'm thinking like big boy camp, man, like it don't get much worse than Charlotte. So they sentence me or whatever. They give me 200-something days in the box. After they give me the 200-something days in the box, boom, I go to my cell and everything like that. And that's what happened. Because what they do is after they sentence you, you know, you end up getting your copies of your paper or whatever, and then your box begins. They don't even credit you 9 times out of 10 your AC confinement time. Like, they won't give you the time you sat in the box waiting to be found guilty on your DRs. So if you sit back there 11 days and then you catch 60, it's going to be 70 days you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. So what they did for me is they took they didn't credit me my AC confinement time that I sat back there, which was like 16 days. They gave me like, they ran my DRs consecutive. Instead of giving me like 60 for this, or 100 days for this, or 30 days for this, and then the same sentence for the other DR running it concurrent, they ran it consecutive. See what I'm saying? So they maxed me. They basically, they gave me a consecutive sentencing. They took my viso for the rest of the time that I was in the state of Florida Department of Corrections. My viso was suspended. They didn't credit me my AC time. They shipped me behind it. I got shipped from Charlotte behind that. And they maxed me out in the box, which means that they didn't let me get out early or none of that. Because while I was at Calhoun, if you get 30 days, you might get out in 20 days. You might get out in 16 days, 17 days, you know, and they were doing that at Charlotte at one point too. You know, people that were catching 30, they were getting out in like 5, 8 because so many people were coming in with serious DRs to where they needed to house them somewhere, and they needed, so they would get rid of the, you know, the little 30-day sentences in the box. Now, they don't just sentence you though when you go to DR court. They actually talk to you about your DR, and then they send you back out of the door for a couple seconds. They make you walk out and just stand back in the quad for a couple seconds where everybody was on the door screaming, like they got to make their mind up, like they're coming to a decision, but their mind's already made up. And then they bring you back in, and then they sentence you. See, me personally, I ain't never won a not guilty DR. Okay, you're guilty of the DRs regardless to them. You know, you can appeal your DRs by writing clemency and everything to Tallahassee, which is the head of classification, and Julia Jones and stuff like that. Now, it's rare that you're going to win it. You know, people win them all the time from in confinement after you done been back there 60 days and you're writing to appeal your DR. They're going to find you guilty on your DR, and then you got to appeal it to win it, basically. And it doesn't matter if you prove to them you ain't guilty. It doesn't matter if you prove the officer lied about what he wrote. No matter what it is, they are still going to hit you with the guilty because they don't want to look like they're wrong for bringing you in confinement. They want to make it look like you did do something wrong. Okay? Now, Santa Rosa is one of the main prisons that everyone gets sent to down here. That is CM. It's up there in the Panhandle. You know, we also have a couple more like FSP, which is Florida State Penitentiary. You know, like people don't know, when you go to court and you get sentenced, you know, and they say, I sentence you to 5 years FSP. That doesn't mean you are going to the Florida State Penitentiary. That means you're sentenced to 5 years in Florida State Prison. But we actually have a camp that is called FSP, which is Florida State Penitentiary. And that is a CM camp as well. You know, we also have another one, Swanee. Swanee is CM. And I can't remember if there's more. But what it was is back in the day, they shut down Charlotte from being CM, made it a general population camp, a bad adjustment camp at that, because they had too many inmates on CM. Now, it's a routinely thing for CM. If y'all don't know nothing about it, look it up, look into it. They have on Lockup, the show Lockup, they have an actual episode or a couple episodes on CM alone in Santa Rosa, which is down here in Florida, which is in the Panhandle. Now, they have a CM side and a GP side, which is general population. So people get sent to Santa Rosa that ain't on CM. You can also go, you could go to the GP side. You know what I'm saying? And then that's basically what they do. If you get put on CM, if they find out, yes, you're going to CM, they're going to send you up there, which is, they call it the Slab also. You know, when you speak on it in prison terms inside the chain gang, people be like, oh, I'm going to the Slab. I'm finna go to the Slab. And then you go in there and everything like that. And I heard it's gruesome in there just as well. There's been people in there so long that they're fucking inmates when they get put in their cell. You know, like there's legit, like people are so fucked up from being behind them doors so long, you know, that even when they do make it out of CM and they do hit up another camp and they do get shipped somewhere else and they get back on, you know, regular general population, they can't take it, and they're a ticking time bomb just waiting to explode, you know. So there's a lot of prisoners that are being hidden, you know, and that ain't got no voice. You know, that's what made me want to make this video speaking on control management, you know, because they'll literally put you back there. They'll make it to where you can't get no mail, no send no mail out. They beat your ass on a daily back there. You know, it's to the point to where people get stabbed and everything while in there on CM, that for a couple dollars, you can get a cuff key made. And everyone like gets cuff keys made or are known to have cuff keys, because when you go to walk out when they bring you out with this little belt around you or whatever, and they bring you in the day room and they strap you to the table and everything so you could play for like an hour or whatever, whenever your rec time's supposed to be. I don't know if it's once a day or once a week, whatever it may be. Everyone has cuff keys because people uncuff and stab each other. That's how serious it is at CM, because CM is just a portion of the camp that is housing the most violent, the most brutalist inmates. You know? And you hit officers, that's where you go. You catch excessive DRs, you can qualify for CM. Anything. You get caught cutting someone, CM. Anything. When you get caught for bad things, like serious things, you will go to CM. But 9 times out of 10, they may just ship you. You know, like some people, you know, will cut someone's mouth wide open or wet them up 5-6 times and get shipped. And that's it. And they'll land in another camp, start the whole bit over. Like at another camp. You know, they don't even get put on CM. It does happen, though. You know what I'm saying? Now, I just wanted to speak on this in particular because I just found out recently that Charlotte, where I was at, is no longer a general population camp. It is strictly CM. So it won't be how it was when I was there. Everyone was walking around mobbing the pound, fighting, everything was going on. And it was a negative transfer camp when I was there. You know, you got all these other prisons in the in the state of Florida. You get too many DRs, or you stab someone, or whatever may happen, and you were going to land at Charlotte. And that's what was happening. It was a negative adjustment transfer camp. And then that's how it was when I was there. But now I just wanted to give y'all a little input about CM. You know, and shout out to all the people that made it through CM. You know, shit like that. I salute you, because it don't get no worse than that. It doesn't get no worse than the slab. You know, stamps are real money in there. You know, stamps is a high commodity in there. They're real money. You know, shit like that. I heard a lot about CM. Me, I never personally went to the slab, but I know several people that went. You know, I heard so much about it. You know, and I just want to say I salute to everybody that made it through the CM slab, because prison's rough as it is. CM is a totally different ball game. You get what I'm saying? And some people don't make it out of there. You know what I'm saying? People are in there cutting themselves day-to-day baselets, leaking out, got the whole room filled with blood. You know, just same. I mean, you see that shit at Charlotte, too. At Charlotte, we were seeing stuff like that, a couple other camps, because it was a psych camp where it was psych people. There was people there that was mentally, you know, psyched. They'd cut themselves, have it split open, look like a piece of pie missing out of their arm. Big old chunk, big old slab, you know, shit like that. So I just wanted to speak on, you know, control management. And, you know, hopefully no one ever has to go there. That's the worst thing that can happen to you in prison, other than getting killed and stabbed and raped. But that's the worst thing that they can sentence you to. You get what I'm saying? So the worst thing that can happen to you in prison by the court of law, in life by the court of law, is they send you to prison. The worst thing they can sentence you to in prison is CM. And some people like it there. They like to be alone, left the hell alone. They don't want no one to deal with them. You know, they get their stuff while they get their property, their belongings back there. They get canteen more than you do regularly in confinement. You know? But anyways, I appreciate y'all watching this video. Y'all stay tuned in, and you already know, man, this fraud.